Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, and all right, let me see. Ooh, okay, that shouldn't happen. All right, that works. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, the intro didn't start by itself. That's weird. That's okay. No matter. Okay, let's see. Lydia Washington, thank you so much for being here first. Um, Gwendolyn Daniels and Sherry Ware and everybody else. Okay, let's get on with it. And of course, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Shouldn't be. So, with Love Megan, what is the latest from With Love Megan? It looks like a very nutritious banana split. What a great sweet treat. You put some preserves, you put some berries on it, blueberry and raspberry, and also, oh boy, what does that look like to you? Is that like some kind of, looks like a granola? Yeah, to me it looks like granola. Hey, Legs, that looks very, very like delicious without being so. You don't have to feel guilty. Yeah, that looks like something like a sweet treat without the guilt. That's what that looks like. But yeah, that looks like a nice light breakfast. Have that with some coffee. Yeah, just like yesterday. I didn't think we would be here more than an hour. I didn't think it. Now what really happens, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. Okay. Next, with love, Megan. Sure is. Next. And check that out. Oh, you know what? I did not download that video. Oh, yeah, I did. You know, that just really freaks me out when I do something incredibly efficient. Like I've really taken the time to, you know, concentrate on something. Um, or yes, I did. I did. Nope, I didn't. uh, oh, yes, I did. I did. Okay. I do have it. I just didn't label it properly. That's all. Wow, that worked out a lot better than I thought. Okay. That works. That works. Now, of course, you know the usual. There is some music in the background, and I don't want any problems. So that's a shame that is an issue. But Those music people have been very strict about their intellectual property rights, and sampling just the smallest amount can get you in a whole lot of trouble. So I try to avoid it. I don't want the copyright. But yeah, so that's it. They happy, what does it says there? Happy Sunday, friends, right? And don't know whose kitchen it is. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm not gonna get in their business like that. I'm sure someone else will though. Okay, and cue the video. Oh yeah. Okay, here goes. There we go. Wow, that looks good. That looks good, doesn't it? Mm. And of course, she's with Kelly Zafin McGee, or is it Kelly McGee Zafin? Her dear friend, Heart Mom, as she's known on the Instagram. Yeah, her Instagram handle is Heart Mom. But yeah, one more time. I tell you, that kitchen island is actually getting some work in. That's nice. You know, when you have a beautiful space and you can actually use it and share it with friends and family, that's one of the things that just makes all of your hard work worth it, is when you can share those spaces with friends and family. Okay. All right. You say there's no sound? Really? Let me see what you got going on here. Okay. If you mean there's no sound for that video, that is deliberate because I don't want the copyright infraction for the video that's playing in the background. See, I don't have a right to that music, so that's the reason why there's no sound. Yeah, I get in trouble for that. So I can play the video, but I cannot have that music playing in the background. So that's why there's no sound. But if you want sound, and you know what? I suggest anyway, go over to With Love Megan and As Ever so that you can hit the like button, so you can push the little red heart. That way, it enhances the engagement, it drives the algorithm. That's something that we all must do that every day. If you love the Sussexes, if you are supporters of Harry and Meghan, even though I share these things with you here, I still want you to go over to the Instagram and make sure that you support um, Megan's work. But yeah, most of the content creators, Sussex friendly people, will share this, but that doesn't mean that you should not go over there. So, and then you can hear it with a sound. Love that Carper sink in the island right there. Look at there. That sink is Carper. That is beautiful. It looks like hammered copper. And it's got the butcher block, cutting block top on it. That is gorgeous. I love that kitchen. That kitchen doesn't look like a laboratory. When one of the besties reinvents a banana split for breakfast, and of course, Heart Mom and As Ever. Ooh, you know what? I forgot to check. I forgot to check Heart Mom's Instagram. Let me take a look there because she may have posted something else. Let's see. Let me check out Heart Mom. Oh, you know what? She looks like she posted the exact same thing. Yeah, she posted the exact same thing, plus some other stuff. And of course, I'm going to like it on her channel as well because I do follow her. And she's one of Meghan's besties, so I have to make sure I show the proper respect. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer! Ladies and gentlemen, Connie Balmer! Okay. Enjoy the nice clothes. I mean, I just feel like I could take a fork and break into that. Oh, that looks delicious, right? I just feel like I can take a fork and break right into that. Looks like there's a little yogurt, granola, probably some grains, oat and such, mixed with honey, and then that with some raspberry preserve, blueberry, and of course, fresh raspberries. I could just taste it. I could just taste it. My mouth is watering looking at it. And then there was a little video where Harry shared this flying into the week with my family. Thanks to my H for capturing this. Yeah, so you know what? You have to go over to Instagram because I'm not going to share that one with you. How's that? You have to go over to Instagram so you can hear the excitement that was in the video because I'm not sharing that one. I insist that you go over there and see it for yourself. Wait, was there sound? Yeah. Well, uh, yeah, you can hear the kids screaming. Oh, that's so sweet, you guys. You got to go over to Instagram if you want to see that because you can hear the kids in the background screaming with excitement over the birds making their formation. So that's all. I'm not going to share that one. That was so adorable. Too soon. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means too soon, but one of the squaddies posted Prince Philip right next to the banana split. And I'm not sure what that means. I'm not even going to try and qualify that, but that's the caption that they added to it. Too soon? So recollections may vary. It's reminiscent, of course, of this, I suppose. I guess that was the point. I don't know what the connection is. All I know is we had this last week. Woo! And this week, someone posted this and they put the caption, too soon, too soon. So it may mean different things to different people, okay? I think it's probably best to leave it alone. Woo! Okay, okay. So, too soon. I guess it's unanimous. It's just too soon. And then, of course, there was that one troll of a person says, if Meghan was not mocking Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth again, then she needs to come out and correct the rumors because this is outrageous. The thing is, you're the one who looked at a waffle, a slice of kiwi, two blueberries, and some whipped cream. You're the one who somehow extrapolated a notion. You somehow reached this conclusion that after 70 years on the throne, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth's reign has been reduced to a green waffle, a kiwi slice, two blueberries, and whipped cream. So, what's up? What's up? Who is the one who came to that conclusion? I'm just asking for a friend. How exactly did you look at that and see Queen Elizabeth? I mean, I've heard of reading tea leaves and such, right? Then you got some lady who throws asparagus up in the air and she finds messages from that. But I don't know anyone who would have looked at a green waffle, a slice of kiwi, and two blueberries and some whipped cream. I just don't know who sees that. You must really have abstract vision to see Queen Elizabeth in a breakfast waffle. I don't get the connection. I mean, I see it, but I just don't know how they saw it. Saw it. You know what I mean? I see it, but I don't know how they came to that conclusion. Especially anyone who has any monicum of respect for Queen Elizabeth, as I do, right? I mean, I'm very you know, she's the queen. There are days when I look at that left behind royal group and I say, you know what? We were better off with Lizzie. But I would have never supposed that anyone would look at a green waffle, a slice of kiwi, two blueberries, and whipped cream, and you see Queen Elizabeth. I just don't think that's fair. And to imagine that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, a princess of the realm, no less, that she would somehow um, desire to covertly represent the queen in such a way. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it, and shame on anybody who looks at a green waffle, a slice of kiwi, two blueberries, and some whipped cream, and insist that that represents Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. I just don't think that's proper, and I don't want to be a party to it. So I am going to go on to the next thing because this is reprehensible, disgusting behavior, and it just will not be tolerated here. So say farewell. As a matter of fact, I may never show this image again. This might be the last time that Royal Sussex that Royal Sussex shares that green waffle slice of kiwi, two blueberries, and some whipped cream. Oh, well, she brought it up first. Miss Z, thank you so much for becoming a new member. And thank you, of course, for watching Royal Sussex. Where's that bell? There we go. Thank you so much for that. Oh, Lord. Of all things, okay. They didn't took Lizzie from the box and put Lizzie in the waffle iron. There is no justice in this world. John Garcia, Baron, so about those nut jobs over there, an oldies hip hop song says insane in the membrane. The meaning is crazy in the head. Here, here. Thank you so much, John Garcia. And that's exactly what it is. Their spite and hostility against the Sussexes has caused some form of delusion where they're seeing things that are not even there. That you can look at a waffle and see Queen Elizabeth. Oh. Oh, look at there. For the kids. Here, kids, have some gra- I suppose one could but I think that if that person hadn't brought it up, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I certainly didn't see it. Oh well. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for being a membership and being a membership. Thank you so much for. Is that right? No, thank you so much for being a member, not being a membership. Thank you, thank you so much for you know what I mean, and thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so say goodbye, you guys. This is the last time you're gonna look into those beady blue eyes or beady blueberry eyes. uh, whew. All right. So, the EU Parliament discusses sustainable travel and tourism with GBTA, Travalyst, and the WTTC. Now, this makes me very proud because, oh, Fancy Fancy, thank you so much. Fancy Fancy gifted one Royal Sussex membership. Thank you for that. And congratulations to the lucky recipient of this very kind and thoughtful gesture. I appreciate that. So let me find the article. Let me find the article. As you know, Harry is the founder of Travalyst. And it just makes me so proud that Harry has created something that is so big that the British tabloid media, you know, they don't talk about this, right? They don't talk about Travalyst. They refuse to mention Travalyst. They just gloss over it in the slightest way because it's going to change so much about the international tourism trade. And this is the thing, more people have taken to the skies than ever before. I think they said the numbers are even larger than pre-pandemic era. So it says on March 20th, 2025, the European Union hosted a critical discussion on the future of sustainable travel and tourism in Europe. Now, I'm going to ask you, what is the most, or should I say, which is the most visited nation in the world when it comes to tourism? Does anybody know? Don't cheat. The most visited nation in the world. So, the event organized by the Global Business Travel Association, oh, that's the GBTA, Global Business Travel Association, excuse me, Travalyst, and the World Travel and Tourism Council, the WTTC, brought together policymakers, industry leaders, and stakeholders to explore how the travel and tourism sector can continue to thrive while advancing the EU's ambitious sustainability goals. Harry was the founder, is the founder of Travalyst. I just love seeing Travalyst up there with all those other agencies and organizations. That makes me incredibly proud. So proud of Prince Harry for his genius. I mean, he's literally sitting there thinking about how much people travel and how much pressure that puts on everything and everybody. Like, for instance, Venice. Venice is slowly being destroyed because, compared to ancient times, there was just a fraction of people visiting Venice. Now it is treated as though it's Disney World. Hosted by Croatian, I guess this is a member of parliament, Nikolina Borjak, the event underscored the importance of ensuring that tourism sector remains competitive while aligning with EU decarbonization efforts. The conversation focused on innovative green technologies, policy framework, and international collaboration necessary for sustainable travel. Hey, did I tell you guys that Harry was the founder of this? Okay, so I'm going to skip down a little bit right here. It says, with nearly 400 billion spent annually on business travel, Newfang stressed that, that's a person, Newfang, stressed that the potential to influence the broader travel market, advocating for EU policymakers to collaborate with the industry to develop common sustainability standards. Now, this is my favorite part. Sally Davy, you know that name, Sally Davy of Travalyst, praised Europe's leaders in setting a global standard for sustainability regulation, underscoring the need for coordinated action to align sustainability efforts across the globe. She stated, travel is a truly global sector. Our work to decarbonize and grow sustainability must be aligned. So, Sally Davy, that is the young lady that Harry handpicked to run the business of Travalyst, and I guess she was the first person hired to that position. And so, if you guys remember when Harry went to what was it, to the um, you know, United Nations, they had that meeting there. So, yeah, Very cool. So this makes me very proud of Prince Harry and his work towards sustainable travel. So remember, Travalyst, founder, Prince Harry. They don't talk about it because they just don't have an equivalent to push into our faces from the left behind unnecessary royals. Prince Harry, not for profit travelers, partners with Google for a major push to change the way we travel. There is over $1 trillion of companies. If you valued all the companies that have signed on with Travalyst, is over $1 trillion. Prince Harry wants to change the way we travel. So proud of this guy. And they love to say that Harry does not have anything to do. He just sits around and, I mean, come on. This guy is like a superhero. He really is. So cheers to Harry. Look at Harry taking care of business. Oh, is it trillion? Three. Okay, but it has nearly 3 trillion market value. Okay, tell me this got them mad. All right, 3 trillion. There you go. 3 trillion. So, in other words, that's like the equivalent of Apple, Amazon, and a few other companies combined, right? Because I think Apple is like $1 trillion company. That's like the GDP of several nations, several industrial nations. I'm telling you, Harry is handling his business, and all of these big companies, credit card companies, hotels, transportation of every stripe, they have all joined in partnership with Travalyst. And did I tell you that Travalyst was founded by Prince Harry? This was from last year. We are very proud to share that our founder, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has been included in the 2024 Times 100 climate list. The Duke has been something, something, something. So I love it. I love it. That just makes me so proud. And this is a bit dated. I mean, this needs to be updated, but I mean, they have been busy. And this is why I say when people are so hypercritical about what Meghan and Harry should do and who they should, answer and who they should get in their face and tell them off and all that kind of stuff. They need to sue this person and they should say such and such. They got so much going on. The prudent thing to do is just keep working. Now, I told you I wish that they had a designated representative that can, call out certain things, but I don't know that that would be effective because the media wants those clickbaits. They want that clickbait. I was just looking at something on, I think it was on Twitter, where they were saying that there was this big march in Washington recently. I think it was veterans or something like that. And there was all of these tens of thousands of people, but you didn't see or hear anything from the media because they don't care. The media seems to be very complicit with all of this right-wing ideology that's going on right now. It's the reason why Target is in trouble. Target caved to the pressure and decided to do what a certain individual and his people wanted them to do. And now their shareholders are like, what is going on? Why is the value of the company, in trouble? At a time like this, when things seem so weird and uncertain, one of the wisest things to do is to just keep focusing on what's important to you and your family and your friends, and try to block out all of that noise. Okay? Try to block out all that noise. What is this one here? Oh yeah, I wanted to just this was from what, last September, but it made me so proud. I just wanted to share this again. Um he went to that 1805, then he had that Concordia, the Halo Trust, the Clinton Global. What was this, in 3 or 4 days? All of these meetings and such. Travalyst, UN headquarters, Well Child, Ballet. He did all of this in a very short period of time, in just a few days. And this is without the courtiers. This is without that Kensington Palace crew. Harry and Meghan are using their influence. They're using their own wealth to finance a lot of this stuff. I mean, just imagine Harry wasn't by himself. There was a team from Archwell Foundation that helped to make all this possible. This wasn't Harry going to make money. This is Harry, the humanitarian and philanthropist, going out there and walking the walk and talking the talk. So that's why I say it makes me very, very proud. Makes me feel like I'm on the right side of history. Now, Becky the Blob, or well, you know what? One of the squaddies who has a private Twitter account calls her Becky the Blob. I'm okay with Big Face Becky. Big Face Becky. Big Face Becky. She's been at it again. I'm telling you guys, she is a gatekeeper. I do not like her. I do not like her, and I really cannot stand her. She just makes me sick. Do you hear me? Sick! She makes me sick. I cannot stand this person. Rebecca English is her name. And God bless her. She just lost a tremendous amount of weight. And it, it has aged her significantly, that weight loss. But not just the weight loss, but it is what she actually is doing for a living. She is a gatekeeper for the British royal family. And she uses her ability as a writer and editor and all that stuff. She uses that to uplift two of the most useless individuals to ever draw a breath, Willie and Kitty. It is her job. She has been tasked with making them seem like they're whole and complete, capable people. She knows the truth of what's going on with that family and with those two individuals, but she is so loyal to them, even though she pretends to be this objective um, reporter. They all pretend to be objective. And what they call criticism of the royal family is merely talking points that has been approved of by the royals themselves. Whenever you see that one of these people has written another book, those books actually are reviewed by the royals themselves, and they will insist upon changes, either the language, the storyline, whatever, so that it doesn't make them seem so awful. Now, you cannot take things away completely, but you can put a spin on it. You can downplay it because some of these things are just history and that's it. You cannot pretend otherwise. The book has got to have some credibility. But it's people like Big Face Becky that puts that stuff out there to deceive the public, to reimagine events, revisionist history. I think that's what they call it. They invoke a great deal of revisionist history. I don't like her. I really don't like her. Um, and so as she holds tight her knee, because even though she's reducing her weight, there's still a lot of stress and pressure when she decides to cross her legs. So much so that I have been so afraid that she was going to kick over that coffee table. I mean, one sneeze and she'd probably kick over that coffee table with all of that tremendous pressure that is taking the whole one knee on top of the other. God bless her for trying. But it cannot be easy. But having said that, I really don't like her. I hate everything that she wears. Everything always looks so like 1970s Lane Bryant. Now, so apparently Becky the Beb I didn't know what that said until just now. Becky the shrinking block. I saw it, right? Obviously, I took a screenshot of it. I saw it, but I didn't realize it said Becky the shrinking blob, aka Becky the interloper, reported that Prince Bully, the plagiarism prince, spoke to the military about their mental health issues. However, I think we need to, I'm sorry, I think we read this storyline before with this respectful and fel relatable brother um, who resides in Montecito Mansion. God, did I get that right? Anyway, let's move on. So this anonymous individual just wants to remind you all that throwback to Harry talking about what Becky the Blob tried to credit Prince plagiarism bully. Prince plagiarism bully. Harry's already spoken about training your mind and body in 2020. And there's a video of that not conversation, but Harry speaking to members of the military. If you want to be truly fit, strong, and healthy, you need to train your mind and body as one. Championed by Prince Harry, Head Fit, hashtag Head Fit. I think that was one of those Prince, whatever that charity they had. Could give you the tools you need to stay mentally fit. Visit headfit.org, Mental Health Awareness Week. So, again, that was back in May of 2020, May 2020, when Harry spoke about that. And apparently, Big Face Becky is trying to credit the other one. And then over here on the right, you can see more of Harry is the one that has championed this stuff, not the other one. They're always trying to take credit from Harry and lavish all of this praise upon his brother when it's not obviously not deserved. Let me see here. What does that say? That is from August of 2023. The Duke of Sussex has described his emotional unraveling after he returned from military service in Afghanistan in 2013. In a Netflix documentary series, The Invictus Games, Prince Harry and said, the biggest struggle for me was that no one around me could really help. The trigger for the Duke's trauma had been serving in Afghanistan, but he linked the loss of his mother, Princess Diana, who had died in 1997 when he was 12 years old. Harry says, losing my mom at such a young age was trauma that I had that was never really aware of. It was never discussed. I didn't talk about it. And I've suppressed it like most youngsters would have done, said the Duke. And he was 38 years old at the time. Wow, that's kind of small. But yeah, so Big Face Becky, who used to say so many nice things about Harry, like calling him the best pilot that the British have ever had, something to that effect. She wrote a beautiful article about him. And now, of course, she doesn't mention any of that stuff. She's so busy trying to. Oh, by the way, tell me the squatties don't have a sense of humor. Look at this. New photos from Estonia. uh, I saw this and I'm telling you, I just about screamed. This, of course, represents Prince William's trip to Estonia, where he's pretending to be this heroic military figure. And of course, knowing William, when he first got to Estonia, he asked the same question that he asked when he went to Poland to thank the troops. Where can I find a pulled pork sandwich? That's the first thing he wants to know as soon as he get off the plane. He wants to know, where can I find me a pulled? I need a pulled pork sandwich. Now I've done everything they asked me to do, but I want my pulled pork sandwich. And you're going to tell me, where can I find one? Surely there's a bistro around here somewhere. So yeah, this, of course, was from his trip to Poland. So over here on the left, tanks a lot. Tanks a lot? Oh my God. I hate when they do those little clever headlines. Tanks a lot. Prince William rides in British tank during visit to NATO base just 90 minutes from Putin's Russia as he gets his hands dirty in show of support for Estonia. Oh my God, they're trying to make him out to be a freaking George S. Patton. They're trying to turn him into um, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Okay? They're trying to make him into some heroic field marshal. This is a little spoiled brat prince who has grown up, who has never been challenged, who has the biggest challenge that he's ever faced was when he missed that Thomas Kingston, well, not Thomas Kingston, his father's godfather's memorial service. We know that was a big struggle for him because by the time we saw him again, he looked like he was about to just fall over. We don't even know what the struggle was, but that was probably the roughest time he had. But other than that, not so much. And listen to the language. Listen to the language. Just 90 miles from Putin's Russia. Do you know how many millions of people live within 90 miles from Putin's Russia? What is your point? There's so many men, women, and children that lives 90 miles from Putin's Russia. Do you know that the people in Alaska live even shorter distance than that? from Putin's Russia. Do you guys know that? That Russia and the United States practically connect near the Arctic Circle up there? So, what is your point? There's so many people that are 90 miles from Putin's Russia. They make it sound like he single-handedly led troops into battle, that he went across like he's on the 38th parallel looking into the demilitarized zone in North Korea, right? Or he's Ronald Reagan standing on the Berlin Wall. He's none of those things. He's not even Prince William. And of course, this article was written by Big Face Becky. See there at the bottom? By Rebecca English, royal editor at Top of Camp Estonia. Obviously, she has gone to Estonia not only just to write about this, but to help manage his public image. I believe that she not only writes, not only does she provide coverage, but she also helps to manage the public image. Talk about compensating, right? Expert pinpoint real reason Prince William is key figure in dealing with Donald Trump. Y'all, this is the kind of stuff that makes it hard to keep that acid from building up in your esophagus. It really does. It makes it very difficult to keep that acid from bubbling up. They just make up stuff. They just make it up. In what reality does William serve as a key figure with Donald Trump? When Donald Trump walked in and saw William at that consulate or wherever they were in Paris, Donald Trump was actually shocked to see him. He turned to the rest of the people. Oh, look who's here. He wasn't expecting to see William. William chased him down, found out where he was going, and then waited like a little puppy. Former BBC royal correspondent Jeannie Bond has explained why Jeannie Bond, believes Prince William is the key figure needed in dealing with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 42-year-old royal, who is next in line to the throne, met with the U.S. president in Paris 3 months ago. Okay. Now, planned dead in water, whatever that means. Willpower. Prince William, oh God, willpower. Prince shows our military might. They really got to stop doing this. They got to stop doing this. You know, I went and looked for what's his name, Graham Smith, because I was hoping that he was going to troll them about this visit to Estonia, but so far he didn't put anything up today. But it really takes Graham Smith to troll these people. This is all for show, you guys. This is all for show. Oh, look, I didn't even notice Big Face Becky's big face down there at the bottom. See it? That's another one of her articles. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, we hear you, Becky. I mean, but take a look at the picture. This is what you call compensating. There he is riding in that big, strong metal tank. And you can see the provocative way that cannon is in your face and ugh. This is compensating, overcompensating, trying to make him look virile and tough. Leg says propaganda tourism. Next stop for photo op, Ugh. Thank you, Legs, for the super chat. I think this is disgusting. They are perpetuating or perpetrating a fraud on the public. There is nothing so strong and mighty about William. William is not a policy maker. He is not a policy changer. He's nothing while his father is sitting on that throne. And even after, he is easily molded into whatever people want him to be. So William takes 23 million pounds a year of our public money, our, of course, being the British tax-paying public, 23 million pounds a year, not to mention that he's sitting on top of a $1 billion fortune from feudal times. He goes over there so that he can do photo ops, and that's all this is about, is the photos. I think it is humiliating to the men and women who are actually in uniform serving their government. That's disgusting. It's a Michael Dukakis moment. That's what it is. It's Governor Dukakis. Mike Dukakis, one of my birthday twins, we share the same birthday, whilst running for president, went and sat inside of a tank wearing that big, ridiculous helmet, trying to do what? Look tough. That's all this is he's trying to look tough. Make peace with your brother. Israelis shrug off Prince William's ceasefire plea. Now, if you recall, when Prince William was trying to talk policy and such, they were like, you know what? You best stay out of this and go make peace with your brother. If you want to talk about peace, that's where you need to start. But what's going on over here? You best stay out of it. And you know what? We ain't heard nothing else about it. Nothing else about it. He's so tough, he stood down immediately. FDR photo ops were better. He had to stand, not easy task when you had polio. This person goes over and acts like the people aren't living there. Exactly. Thank you so much for that, Legs. Yeah, they make it seem like he's in some military zone, like he's in some area that is staring down the Russian troops. Right now, Estonia is not in fear of being overrun by anybody. That's the reason why they got the troops there. If something was to break out, there's nothing that this idiot would do about it. They'd fly him home so fast. He's not in combat 90 miles from the border. Millions of people are 90 miles from the Russian border. What is your point? It also reminds me of old Major Middleton. That's right. Kate Middleton, Britain's secret weapon. Britain's got so many secret weapons. It's a wonder that they don't spend more on their military defense. They probably do, but remember, it's secret. How about this one from 2024? Wheels is Top Gun. Now, why in the world did this photo op happen? I'll tell you why. This happened because of this. Because they were in Nigeria and they wanted to make William seem like a global statesman. So they quickly arranged some type of visit to a military base and all that kind of stuff and put him in the helicopter. All of this for an audience of one. And I promise you guys, when they go and do these big stunts like this, if you look at anything about Harry and Meghan in comparison, I don't care what it is, you will see clearly that there has been more views, more likes, more shares, and more engagement in comparison. What William is doing is usually just a handful in comparison. But they were jealous, envious. This, of course, these images, they just had no control over it. Now, remember also, just I was just reminded about this, that they were talking all that stuff about Harry and Meghan going to Nigeria and how dangerous it is in comparison to William, who just went to a military base and played around with the equipment. Harry and Meghan were out there doing some real work. They were, invited. They were invited. And of course, it's not a royal tour, but it's the stuff that William, they don't ask him to come to these other countries. They don't want him, especially in the Commonwealth. They don't want those two in the Commonwealth. Not after the Caribbean tour. The government doesn't ask them to go. Will and Kate. The government doesn't ask them to go. Because they can't do this. This is not within their reach. Oh, thank you to Muriel, who shared this. I didn't know this. Vogue Williams slammed for horrid behavior over rant about plane passenger who refused to swap seats. Oh, okay. Yeah. She's one of those people that you see that feel so entitled that they book last minute or whatever, however this happens, and they want you who paid extra for your seat to move so she can be closer to her children. If it was that important to you, you should have booked your ticket in advance. You should have paid the extra. I'm like, I didn't really know her anyway, but I didn't know she was like that. I think a lot of this stuff, she does it just to keep her name in the news. Just like saying disparaging things about Meghan, just to stay relevant. Another one of those people. Kate Effect hailed as cancer inspiration a year after bombshell announcement. I know, I know, I know, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Sussex Soldier says the crap they make up after they keep hearing about the Meghan effect. They said, we need to give lazy Kate Middleton an effect. And boom, suddenly the Kate Cancer effect was born. They really think we are stupid, that we don't see it made up. And that's what it is. It's a made up thing that it really isn't a thing. If Kate wanted to have an effect, she would have gotten out sooner. She would have divulged whatever type of cancer that she has so that she can help other cancer patients. But there's a big question as to whether she had cancer in the first place. Kate wants to get as far away from 2024 as possible. That way she doesn't have to worry about saying the wrong thing. That way she doesn't have to expose herself in any way as being less than authentic and honest. She didn't want to talk about that stuff. She only went to that cancer hospital because they thought Meghan's show was going to premiere. That's the only reason why she went. They were trying to piggyback headlines about her visit with Meghan's With Love Meghan premiere. But joke's on them because it didn't premiere until March because of the LA fires. I bet you could have bought their ass for a nickel. Ah, Rebecca English, why Kate needs to put her family, not the family, first in 2025. Remember, the gatekeeper. This is an old article from earlier this year, I think it was. Why Kate needs to put her family, not the family, first in 2025. This is why I say Big Face Becky is the gatekeeper. She helps to manage their public image. She may be paid by the Daily Mail and Lord Nappyhead and the such, but she really seems like more a palace employee than a newspaper editor. And then this, did you notice that they have a paywall now where Daily Mail wants you to pay to read certain articles? Why Kate needs to put her I didn't know that this was one of those because I didn't click on the article at the time. I didn't click on it. But had I tried to click on it, it would have asked me to establish an account with the Daily Mail. That ain't gonna happen. But whenever you see that plus with the, exclusive like that, that means they want you to do a paid account just to release that article. Now, that's a lot to do to hear somebody make up something. So, no, thank you. The inside story of Kate's year of courage. Kate's year of courage. By who? Rebecca English. By royal editor Rebecca Big Face Becky English. Deborah Copeland says, Baron, you are in a messy mood tonight, and I am loving it. Thank you so much for the super chat. I am. I am feeling a bit messy. I get triggered by some of the hypocrisy, by some of that nonsense. That triggers me. Oh yeah, and this was from what the other day. Kate Middleton treats Prince William like a fourth child and manages his trauma. What is it? I'm sorry, tantrums. Yeah, and manages his tantrums. They want Kate to look tough. They want Kate to look courageous. They're trying to make so many different variations and levels of Kate's ability and personality when the real Kate, let me see, where's the real Kate? That's the real Kate right there. Not so sharp, is she? She's about as sharp as she looks right there. Not very. And this is the real Kate, the mean girl. Or the mean girls. Yeah, the mean girls. Both of them. Mean girls. Friendless. She has no girlfriends. She doesn't, you'll never see her having a banana split moment. You'll never see that. And they'll say, well, it's because she will be queen. No, it's because nobody is that close to her. Nobody is that close to her. When she was away for 172 days, she was barely missed. We had seen more of her when she wasn't on a sick leave. All they poured into people's ears was Kate was seeing such and such. Kate was seeing so and so. And the people cared so little that there really was no demands that she show her face. That really came mostly from the Sussex squad. And why? Because we thought that she was somewhere, you know, and that somehow she had gotten that way. The Sussex squad cared more about her than her so called supporters. At the end of the day, the Sussex squad was the one calling them out and trying to determine whether something terrible had happened, not the so called fans. No vigil outside the hospital, no massive flowers being delivered. And how do I know? Because if it did happen, they would have shared it. They would have shared it. They would have talked about this outpouring of affection and people sending flowers and such. That all of these young women was holding a vigil for their role model. But that didn't happen because she's not a role model. She's barely a person, let alone a role model. That's why nothing like that happens. So they need Big Face Becky and others to create a plausible storyline that seems like it could have happened or may have happened, but nothing has happened. She's too lazy to have that kind of life. Kate can stay away for months. And I think most of the British public wouldn't notice the difference because the tabloids will continue to run articles about something to do with how interesting and exciting Kate is. And people will just assume that it mentioned that she was working when the truth is she wasn't. It really it just consumed them in 2024 when Harry and Meghan was doing so much work and there was no Kate Middleton. That really destroyed them. And I'm even wondering, is she back yet? Is she really back? Oh well, somewhere right now, Big Face Becky is up uh, plotting and scheming the next article to make Kate seem like a real, whole, and complete person. She is plotting and scheming an article to make it seem like William is tough and decisive and that he alone can save Britain, when the truth is, you can barely get them to show up for work. And with that, you guys, I am done. We are going to stay closer to an hour today than we did yesterday. Gosh, that was almost 3 hours, wasn't it? So thank you to the moderators, the Mod Squad, and thank you to everyone who has a membership. Remember, Royal Sussex memberships are still a bargain at just $4.99 a month. For the price of a cup of coffee once a month, you can support this work. And I would be forever grateful to that. So, anyway, think about it and make sure you uplift and keep all of these squatties in your prayers, especially those who are going through illness, those who have just suffered a loss, and so on. And of course, there's one squatty who lost their job because of all that stuff going on in Washington. Remember they talked about that last week? So yeah, we have to be as positive and send out prayers for everyone, for everyone. Okay, so that's it. I will see you all tomorrow.